Hey guys, and welcome to Sounds Like NYC. I'm here with Anik, the Riot Girl, coming straight out of Montreal. Bassist, singer, songwriter. Am I missing anything?
No, well, I'm an actor part time, and
Okay.
I work as a receptionist, also as a full time job, and I'm also a translator. I have to excuse my English sometimes because I sound weird. That's
Okay.
because my first language is French.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I have a good excuse. Not like other people.
Not like me.
Yeah, so I play bass. I've been playing bass since I'm 15.
Okay.
And I started off just playing other people's songs.
Gotcha.
I remember playing Mr. Broken Wings, and I would sing at the same time. So I learned to play bass and sing.
So why bass? I mean, a lot of people just usually what happens is they play guitar, and then if they don't see that they're doing so well on guitar, they go to bass.
And they keep the pick.
Exactly. Exactly.
I always make that joke. So yeah, I had a big crush on the bass player from Duran Duran,
Okay.
John Taylor, and I also was digging that song and that one Bite the Dust from Queen when I was really young, and that was the first album that I bought. I was maybe 10 or 12, and I bought the album The Game for that song. And it's funny because I didn't know English back then.
Yeah.
So I would sing it and say, another one bust the dust. I was singing all the wrong lyrics,
Yeah.
and I had no clue what I was saying. And it's the bass that is the main part of that song.
Right.
So I think that struck me, that sound. Also, everybody goes to the guitar and the drums, so I wanted to do something different.
Right.
And
No,
I
no.
always do the opposite of everybody.
That's good. I mean, I actually played a couple covers of Duran Duran. The bass is actually pretty interesting.
It
compared
is.
to like most songs. It's really, really interesting and intricate.
Yeah, he's a very good bass player, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people know.
Yeah.
So you know Duran Duran.
Yeah, like very vaguely. I played a couple of their songs every once in a while. Just
Okay.
like practice my bass chops. But it's been a while.
Bass player too.
Yeah.
That's why you're so cool.
There you go. So
Alright.
you started from there, and then tell me your whole story.
Yeah, the
From
whole
then to
story. Started to play covers, and then when I was 18 or 19, I took a train from Montreal to Los Angeles
Okay.
to become a big music star.
I didn't even know they had trains that go from Montreal to Los Angeles.
Well, I had to stop a
Gotcha,
few places, and I think I took the train from Montreal to Albany, then from Albany to Chicago or some other place. But it was interesting. 4 days on a train.
Oh, wow.
But I was really young, so it
Didn't really bother you?
No,
Yeah.
but now I couldn't do it. Now I eat first class.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, I went to Los Angeles. So in my first band, I found them in the newspaper. They were an all-girl band looking for a bass player, and we were called Justify Mary. And we did a few recordings. I don't think we did any shows, but a photo shoot was interesting.
That's cool.
On Venice Beach.
Oh,
Bunch
nice.
of girls, and yeah, that was fun. So I was 19, 20, then I came back to Montreal, and I had tons of bands, cover, originals. I was mostly playing bass. At one point, I became the singer by default because we lost a singer, and my guitarist was like, you know what, you write the songs, you sing pretty well. You're not off that
Yeah.
much. So why don't you just sing?
Right.
We don't need a singer. It's a headache.
Yeah.
And we were just three-piece, and so I became the Geddy Lee, female Geddy Lee, but he's better. So I had this all-girl band trio, Pandora. I had one called Bloodstone. One of them was more a cover band. We were 4 girls.
Right.
And I think one of the coolest gig that we had was in a male detention center.
It's pretty interesting.
Oh my God.
An all-girl band in a male detention center.
Medium security. It was like a movie. Like, I swear to God, I tell that story and people say, is that a script? I'm like, no. It's real. And it's funny because before we entered with all the cars and our equipment, I said, okay, girls, make sure that all your purses are empty of any drug residue.
Right.
Like, because they search us.
Yeah.
So we go in, we're good. We have to spend the whole afternoon there to set up in their gym. And it's the inmate board committee.
Okay.
They have the good inmates.
Right.
They help to set up events, and if there's a machine at the gym breaks, they'll take care of it. So they took care of us. They were our host, or we were.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got us pizza. They got us drinks.
Cool.
Like sodas.
So how does somebody get a gig at a detention center?
We had a booking agent.
Okay.
And he got it through the government. It was a gig that paid from the government. We got, I think, $2,000.
Oh, wow.
We had to find a sound man, so we hired a sound man. And the funny part is when I met the sound man, then I saw another guy that I knew. And I'm like, Eric, what are you doing here? I'm like, what did you do? He was the assistant of the sound man. It was just a coincidence.
Oh, wow. Small world.
I know. So we played a gig, and right before the gig, we have inmates.
Yeah.
That come to us, and they're like, hey, you want some pot? So they had pot, they had their own homemade drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
I know. And as I was playing, I remember watching on the balcony, the guard with their shotgun, like literally walking around during the whole show, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And one half of the crowd were the Hells Angels, the other half was the Rock Machines.
Yeah.
The two rivals. And then we had inmates coming, talking to us after the show, getting our autograph.
That's cool.
And one of them gave me his phone number. He said, I'm out of here in 2 weeks. Give me a call. We'll go for coffee.
Did you take him up on that offer?
Well, I was nice. I said, sure, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. But no.
That's pretty funny.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that was, what band was that?
That was the all-girl band. We were 4 girls. But a singer, me on the bass, the guitarist, she was from Japan, and the drummer.
Gotcha.
So that was all covers, a few original songs that we did. And after that, I just was all over the place. At one point, I had 3 bands. And
At once.
yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing about being a bassist, I guess. That everybody's always looking for a bassist.
Yes. When I go on Craigslist...
Everybody's looking for a bassist. Because nobody wants to play bass. I don't know why. Because it's not as glamorous as being a guitarist or like a singer, but...
Yeah, it depends what you do with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like I said, a lot of people go from like guitarist, like a shitty guitarist to bass, then they become like a shitty bassist. And so people need a new bassist because theirs, sucks.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So from there, what you guys do after that?
After that, oh gosh, what I had, I think I took a break from bands for a while. Then I did my big move again to the United States.
Okay.
So, because right now I live in New York. So in 2013, I moved back to the United States, to New Jersey, and that's when the music restarted.
Gotcha.
Because there's so much musician in the Jersey Shore, around the Red Bank, and I used to volunteer at John Bon Jovi's community restaurant.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So I met a lot of interesting people.
I can imagine.
Oh yeah, so that was fun. I remember one time I was at my gym in Milltown, and Bruce Springsteen shows up.
Oh wow.
And I don't recognize him.
Yeah.
And he's stretching right next to me on the mat. And then the woman comes up to him and she goes, oh, I love your songs. You're awesome. And I'm like, okay, he's a singer. And then I'm like, okay, that's Bruce Springsteen. And I couldn't talk to him.
Yeah.
I became like I don't know, speechless.
So he just came around like...
At the gym to train.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because he lives in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Then I saw him again at the Cold Snake Inn. He was just hanging out, dancing with his family, and then I went to talk to him. And
Gotcha.
I gave him my Riot Girl business card I said, if you need a bass player, or if you know someone, please better give me a call. And I'm not very shy.
That's good. I mean, that's part of being a musician, right? You gotta always be pitching yourself to
Yes.
do gigs and what have you.
It's and also it's a fun story to tell, even if nothing happens afterwards. I'm like, hey, he's got my business card.
Yeah. You can brag that you met Springsteen.
I have a picture. I
That's
took a
cool.
selfie with him.
That's cool.
And John Bon Jovi, he's got my business card. That was funny too because you couldn't see from near distance.
Okay.
So he was like this with the business card.
Yeah.
He's like, "What, Riot Girl?" I'm like, "Yes, that's my nickname, Riot Girl."
Have any of them called you back?
No, I'm still waiting.
I did.
I'm still waiting for Bruce. I'm still waiting for John Bon Jovi. And something else I did that's really funny. Back in Montreal, I used to do background acting.
Okay.
And I did one for the movie The Day After Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a whole week of, being on the stage, how you call it, TV set.
Yeah.
And the director was always there. Roman something, Emmerich, something Emmerich.
Okay.
So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bring him one of my songs. So I see him on the set. I had a CD of my song. It's about the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I give it to him. I said, listen to my song. It's a song about the environment, and it would really fit in your movie. And he's like, oh, thank you. Sure, I'll listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
So he never called.
I mean, you never know. They might call you back in.
I know, but it's another fun story to
is,
tell.
Exactly.
It's like, man, girl, you have guts.
So, have you been in mostly like all girl bands, or have you been to like some guy bands also?
I play with guys, and I should say that I learned a lot with them, a lot more because they are so perfectionist
Right.
in their music. Maybe that's why I always wonder why there's not a lot of women that play an instrument. And I encourage, like if there's young girls right now listening to us, pick up a drum, a guitar, a bass.
Yeah.
We need more women playing. Whenever I go to a festival, I watch a award show or anything on TV, they're all guys.
Right.
Yeah. So it's because I think that when guys are young, they don't mind learning an instrument and being alone for so many hours. Girls, they like to talk, they like to hang out with their girlfriends,
more
they like
sociable.
to go to... Yes.
Right.
And to play an instrument, you have to be a bit of a loner.
Right. You need to practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why, I don't know, maybe in the 80s, there was a lot more women playing music. Like my role model was Joan Jett.
Okay.
So right now, there's nothing much the music. What do you think about the music right now?
I mean, I can definitely see where you're coming from. I think also that like the music industry is mostly like an old boys club. I think it's really hard for women to get into the business. Be it because it's been full of guys so long, and I feel like a lot of them are, when they see somebody genuinely talented, they get a little bit intimidated. They might suppress it. What's been your experience? I mean, you've been in the business for...
They get insecure.
Yeah.
They think, sometimes I've been in bands with guys where they would feel threatened by me. I'm like, oh, she gets more attention than me.
Right.
They don't like that.
Yeah.
They say, don't sing back vocals. Just play bass. just be pretty, play bass.
Right.
Stay quiet. And I'm like, oh, I have an idea. Let's do this. And it's like I had no voice. It's like, and then sometimes I play with guys where it's the total opposite. They love to have me in the band. They love to have that image or that a feminine side in a band. I got that a lot from people. That to have a girl in a band, it brings something else. It makes the band more interesting also for other girls.
Right.
So they look at the band and they identify to that girl playing the instrument.
Yeah.
Whatever she played, drums, guitar, whatever. And that's what we need.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it encourages more women to be in the business.
Yeah, because, people want to be you or hang out with you or whatever. But it's, it's how I experience a lot of things with guys and all girl bands. And a lot of people ask me, "Oh, we all girl band. You must have had a lot of fights with the girls." And it's the opposite.
More
because we're all on the same level.
Right.
We all get the same attention. The drummer girl would have as much attention as the singer, compared to our girl bass player that plays in like White Zombie. Everybody knows the girl bass player, but nobody knows who the drummer looks like.
Right. That's true. I mean, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
So you feel more comfortable playing with girls or with guys?
Oh, I don't care. As long as they play
as long as they're good
musicians.
and
and they're fun.
Right.
There's the fun part and the part where they have to be able to, not always be, okay, we have to play this, and but at the same time, not show up at the show drunk or always having problem or bringing, complaining. I don't know. It's I like to have a band and be friends with them. And that's what I'm looking for right now.
Right.
So, anybody who's interested, I'm a bass player.
Come on, there you go.
I can sing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look you up and maybe people can definitely, get in touch with you because that's...
Yeah.
A lot of people need a bassist.
I know.
So, I mean, I remember we spoke yesterday and you told me about a pretty fun story of, back in Canada, the Canadian, quote unquote MTV. So tell me a little bit more about that.
The video.
Yeah.
The video I did. Yes. In the province of Quebec, we have, I don't even know if it's working right now, but we have a music channel on TV. It's the Quebec, it's like MTV, but it's called Musique Plus.
Okay.
So a couple years ago, I won't say how many years ago. Yes. A few years ago, there was a contest. So people would send in their songs, their originals, and if you won, if they liked it, if it was good, in their point of view, they would pay for you a video.
Right.
So you won a video clip, and then they would play it for a whole year, regular rotation. So I won with one of my songs. It's a French song.
That's pretty crazy. Do you remember what the name of it was? It was an original.
The band was called Bloodstone. The name of the song is Je vais le regretter, and it's on YouTube. So maybe you can put the link underneath so people can watch it.
Yeah.
It's can I curse?
Of course.
It's fucking hilarious, and it's tacky, but it's funny. You're gonna laugh. The funniest part is the party scene, because of course the price was they were going to pay for the director, the cameraman, 2 days of shooting and 3 days of editing.
Okay.
That was all included. That was free, everything. So, but we needed to come up with the location and people, if we wanted people.
Extras.
Yes, and we had to come up with the synopsis, the story. So I said, okay, so the first day we'll do a live shooting. So I found my favorite bar, Backstreet, back in the day. And I knew the owner, so we had the stage for us. We did the live scene. The next day we did the party scene. And all my friends, they came.
Right.
Because they're like, yeah, we'll come.
Yeah, I like
show up.
Yeah.
They show up with beer and other substance, whatever. And it took a while before we get to the party scene. So by the time we get to that scene, all my friends are drunk. So they look awesome. They're perfect actors.
So the party scene is actually the party.
It was a real party. I had, that was great. I had two girls kissing, but they were not really, one of the girl was actually my friend Steven dressed up like a girl. And the funniest part is that afterwards, the director had to show the result to the boss of Musique Plus. And he's like, well, I don't know if we can play it because, there's two girls kissing and we still have beer. And the director's like, you know what, we worked our ass off, like the editing and everything, and they won the video. And the guy's like, oh, okay. So they played it. And I was so proud that we actually almost didn't get to play because there was some kind of controversy.
Yeah.
And I was ahead of my time.
I mean, yeah.
I know.
That's pretty cool.
And then the director told the guy, he says, they're not two girls. One of the girls is the guy dressed up like a girl. And I'm like, what?
So does that make things better or worse?
Oh, you have to see the video. Yeah, I know. It's like it's trying to make it sound better.
So, I mean, how was the aftermath for that? I mean, what did you experience afterwards?
Unfortunately, there was an argument with my guitarist. She was dating a guy that wanted to control the band.
Okay.
And the drummer and me, we didn't agree with that. He was a bit scary. So
Scary how?
He had we think that he was with the mafia.
Oh. That's
Like
scary.
bullet holes in the apartment and stuff.
I can see why you guys are scared.
Oh God, I should do a movie. Oh my God, stuff that I say. I can't even believe myself. Okay.
That's pretty
Next
crazy.
story, it is.
So, like, what was the reaction from, like, people who were watching it? Did you get called out on, like, you know, when you were walking around? People
Yes,
notice you?
that's the funny part too. Is me and my mom would go to Quebec City because I live in Montreal. So go to Quebec City for a weekend. I'm in the shopping mall with my mother, and the girl working in the store, she comes up to me, she goes, "Oh, you're the girl with the red dress in the video."
Yeah.
And everybody's staring at me, "Oh yeah, that's her with the red," because I had a red dress. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And my mom's like, yes, she is my daughter. I'm her mom, and
Yeah.
she's the one in the video.
That's so cool.
And then I played outside at a festival or something. I think it was Canada Day, where I'm from Two Mountains in the suburb of Montreal. And these young girls came up to me after 12, 13 years old. And they were like in awe. They were like, "Oh my God, you're that girl in the video. We want to be like you. We want to play an instrument." And I'm
Right.
like, "You girls have to do it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You play drums, you play guitar," and they were so cute. And I'm like, "Okay, this is awesome."
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my little bit of fame in Quebec. And no, it was fun. And the coolest part is that yes, the video is tacky. But the last time that they played it, the girl, the VJ,
Yeah.
she introduced it and she says, "This is one of the best video of the contest that we had." So we did a good job. The best, tackiest video.
So after that, I mean, you moved on to another band because of the controlling boyfriend?
Yes, after that, I think I had another drummer. We added a guitarist. Steven, he was wearing that was fun because he would wear a leather mask.
Why?
Just to hide himself, just for a gimmick, for something, and we called him the Gimp. So we were known as the band with the Gimp. So I made him a mask with my leather pants.
Wow.
And after that, no, I had after that was more cover bands. And yeah, so lately I've been working in New York. I had a band in New York 2 years ago, and I quit.
What was that?
I found there was no chemistry. I found, like I said before, like that I didn't have a voice in that band. I felt like I was just being used.
Right.
And I thought that we could, go somewhere or sometimes play longer sets or I don't know, wear some suits, and it was
Too much pushback.
one year and come on the other, and
Right.
they would say, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea," and then
Never did it.
no. And yeah, so it was, and every time I say, "You know what, I cannot practice that late because I gotta work the next day or whatever," they're like, "Oh no, we have to. I have to work until late," and he was the boss.
Right. Huh. So how long have you been in New York City for?
How long I've been living?
In New York City.
2015.
So 4 years.
Yes.
How do you like it?
Ooh, I'll take a drink of water.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll think about it. Oh my God, it's nice to visit, but then if you live here, you gotta have money, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Everybody
It's,
says that because it's true. I mean, it's
Oh,
an
yeah.
expensive city to be in, for
Either
sure.
you gotta have money, or you gotta live in your parents' basement. You need 3 jobs, 4 roommates. the noise, everything. But at the same time, it's like a love and hate relationship. Like when I leave, I miss it. You know, when I go back to Montreal, I'm like, oh yeah, Montreal. I'm like, oh shit, I'm bored.
Because you're so used to like the movement.
Yes, then I come here and I'm taking the subway. I'm so aggravated.
Yeah.
People think they are alone in the subway. You know, your backpack.
Yeah.
It's taking whole human space.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You're standing in front of the door. There's some good side. There's a lot of opportunities. But you have to almost be at the place at the right time, hang out with the right people. You gotta play your cards right. You have to, you know, if an opportunity arrives, you have to take it right away or else someone else is gonna take it.
Right.
The best thing to do is to make it somewhere else. Then you come back here.
Then come over here when you have the money. Oh, yeah.
Because if you're here with a regular job that doesn't pay much, you cannot afford to practice. You can't afford to buy equipment.
I mean, there's not even that many places to practice over here because you can't practice in your apartment. You're gonna get hassled by people.
I know.
Yeah.
I am when I play guitar after past 10 p.m.
Oh yeah. I mean, people take their. I mean, it's such a loud city that when you come home, you expect it to be quiet, and then when there's somebody playing downstairs, you gotta.
Yeah.
So where do you practice?
I love to hang out and jam at the music building. So I used to practice there. Sometimes if I go audition with other bands that I meet on Craigslist, I'll go to the Rivington.
Okay.
Funky Town? What's Funky Town, I think.
Where's that?
That's near the music building in,
Hell's Kitchen?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's in Hell's Kitchen. I like the music building because... you ever been there?
I haven't had a chance to step inside now.
It's like a museum. It's an institution. You go in there and you feel the vibe. Many bands practiced there before. Madonna used to practice on the 12th floor.
Okay.
And that's where I used to practice. And I saw the room where she was practicing and she has an autograph on the wall. And so that's cool.
That's gotta be really cool.
Yeah. So I like that place, and I go there sometimes. I bring my drinks, and it's like a bar. I just go to check out bands and make new friends, and because that's another thing too. It's very hard to make friends in New York.
Right. What do you think that is?
People, the fast pace. People are busy. People are being really careful because there's a lot of opportunism. Yeah. People will be friends with you because you have something. And then when you have nothing anymore, they ghost you. Yeah. And then they fall off the earth, and you're like, well, what did I do?
And do you think that's more prevalent in New York City, or it's just like a human thing?
No, it's in New York. I lived in Los Angeles, Montreal, Jersey, and here it's because there's so much pressure on people to become successful and to make it. And everybody wants to be an actor. Everybody wants to be a singer, movie director, anything. And for that, they have to hang out with the right people. And that's why the opportunistic thing arises.
Right, no, for sure.
And that's why I have a lot of trouble finding friends because I'm very honest. And also I have nothing.
Right.
So, I have no money, no car, I play bass, but so it's tough. But I have a few friends. They're good. And I'd rather have, good friends, but a few.
Yeah. And a lot of them that don't really.
Yeah. Anyway, I have tons of friends in Jersey and in Montreal. So, but no, in New York. People that trust issues. People, even if I try to talk with someone in a bar, a girl or a guy, they will think I'm a bit crazy. They're like, why is she talking to me?
Yeah.
Like, she's a serial killer?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because people
I'm a big loser. I have no friends.
People tend to stick to the little circle.
Exactly.
It's a little weird. Yeah.
I'm like, who is she?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't worry, I'm Canadian. I'm good.
People give you a pass, I assume, right? Because you're Canadian.
What?
People give you a pass because you're Canadian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? It's actually true. Something happened not too long ago, and they said, you know what? You're good because you're Canadian. In a way,
It's a different world.
I can remember.
It's a different world over there.
That's something also that I noticed the difference between here and Montreal is that. So you play bass.
Sometimes.
You have a band.
No.
Okay. Well, when you start to have a band, you have these things in New York, in bars. Like I go to Arlene's Grocery to check out bands and pianos. So they have showcases. All these bands play 1 and 8, 9, 10. So you said, let's say you have 4 bands lined
Back
up.
to back, yeah.
The cover is $10. So in New York, usually what you do is you come up to the cover to play the cover charge, and they ask you which band you're coming to see. Because that $10, they will put in an envelope, goes to that band. In Montreal, it doesn't work that way. The $10 goes to everybody. All the 4 bands, it's all split equally. That's why Canada is a socialist country.
Yeah, socialist country, yeah.
And I thought about
I think
afterwards.
that idea is
I'm
like,
like, oh my god.
Yeah, that idea is very, very New York.
like, we want to have our money. We have our people. We brought in 50 people. You brought in 10, but we don't care.
Yeah.
We.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it does. I guess that should force you to
bring people. But you know, we as Canadians, we feel like, you know what? What if they're out of town or they're a young band? They don't have enough followers. We feel like, you know what? They work just as hard. They brought their instrument. They play just as long. You know, for $100, you make $100. What's the big deal?
Right.
It's like, so that's something that was a little bit of a shock, a culture shock for me when I started playing here. I'm like, why do you ask me which band? I'm coming to see all the bands.
Yeah. Could you say all the bands?
Sometimes I go to Arlene's just to check out all the bands.
Yeah.
And I say, yeah, all the bands. So I just split my $10 for all of them.
$2.50 each. Cheated the system then.
I know.
So I mean, you've been around. I mean, you've been all over the place. How do you feel like New York specifically has, changed you as an artist or like as a person?
Okay. I think that first of all, it's making me see things more clearly. Sometimes it's not good because then I overanalyze.
Right.
I think too much. I think maybe I should not say this, or because they're gonna think I'm saying this instead of that, and I don't know. It's I don't think that's very good. I'm not spontaneous, I find, anymore. Like but that has nothing to do, I think, with New York. That just has to do with growing older. You're less spontaneous. you have more fear. Yes, like when I played at the jail, I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
Like, woo, I hang out with inmates. Like, he's here for life. I don't know why. I don't care.
Would you do that now if you had the opportunity?
I would do it, but I would be more nervous.
For sure.
Yeah. So I think that when you're younger, you don't really see the danger. But I still take the subway at 3 in New York.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's what I heard. But, again, I cannot afford taking a subway. Uber from Manhattan to Queens. So I take the subway. And I know it's bad because it's like you watch the Stranger Thing. Yeah. It's like going in the upside down world. You don't know if you'll make it.
Yeah. No, I mean, but it depends on like what line I think you're on, because you see a lot of weird stuff on the A train.
The J.
The
J is a nightmare. Yeah. Even in the daytime. I took it in the daytime and I thought, holy shit, I'm not getting out of here alive.
The E train's pretty weird too, because there's always like a homeless person like sitting in the cars. Like always. There's always a homeless person.
E?
Yeah,
I probably saw him. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So many stories that on my platform, 75th Avenue, I was witness of a crime. And I had to go to the police station to try to identify the person.
Oh, wow.
So I thought I was in, Blue Bloods or New York CSI.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is cool. But at the same time, it's not.
Yeah, you're in danger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a woman being attacked by a guy with a knife. And I had to call the cops. for her because he took her phone, her purse, everything.
Wow.
And yeah, so another thing to add in my in my book.
That's New York City for you. I mean,
I know.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy people here.
Well,
good crazy and bad crazy.
Well, that's because the population is so high that there's more crazy people. Yeah. There's crazy people too in Montreal, but the population is less, so there's less crazy people. Yeah. And also, we don't have guns. So that right there brings down the criminality a lot.
Well, I mean, it's really hard to get a gun in New York City too.
Thank God.
Yeah.
It's like
no, I mean, it's
every day there's a shooting.
So densely populated.
Imagine if it was easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, no, don't get me started on guns. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, New York is it's great. I love going to skate in Bryant Park. Mm-hmm. I love in the summertime going to see those free movies in the park.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm open for the best, and you know what? If it doesn't work out, Canada is right across the border.
It's like what, 4 hours away, 5 hours away?
Yes, 6. Yeah.
But do you see yourself staying over here for how long do you see yourself staying over here?
I'll see. I'll see. I'm fine where I am right now.
Gotcha.
I found an apartment. Mm-hmm. Thank God.
Really cheap apartment.
Yeah, I know. I told you.
Yeah, really cheap.
For you, it's cheap. But I tell my friends in Montreal, they're like, "Oh my God."
You're paying like what, $1,400, right?
Yeah.
For Forest Hills.
Yeah.
A studio in Forest Hills. You can't find that. I think the lowest they go is like 16, if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Oh my God, and I couldn't live in the Bronx. So yeah, I got lucky with the apartment. Yeah, so I'm still waiting for. It's funny because when I moved to New York from Jersey, I was like, oh, my goal is to play with David Bowie. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm going to meet him. I'm trying to somehow, and then that's my luck.
Yeah, well,
he does, and then I think, okay, well, Madonna's still alive.
There you go.
So, Billy Idol.
Yeah.
So that's a big dream of mine, to play bass for somebody, for an artist, solo artist or a band. And if you ask me right now which band I would love to play, it's Foo Fighters. I think they're brilliant. Dave Grohl is amazing. And my favorite band in the whole world is Faith No More. So much I have a tattoo of their album on my hip.
That's dedication for sure.
Angel Dust. You know Faith No More?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, you like bass, you like music. You gotta listen to Faith No More.
What album should I start with?
Definitely Angel Dust. And the song Epic. That's the epic song. Yeah. So
I mean that's where you're staying here because your goal is to play with somebody who at a high caliber in their career.
Yes, I find that I'm so comfortable playing on a stage. I feel like I'm in my living room. When I play on the stage, I can talk to the crowd. I can interact with them, with the musicians. Sometimes I played with bands where they hardly knew the song, and I would be like the conductor at the same time, sing and play bass, scream the notes, and I love studio work. I just met someone who lives right next to my apartment. He has a home studio, so we're starting to do some recording. Cool. I know.
How'd you meet him?
I met him at a concert, a small show in Brooklyn.
Okay.
He was playing bass with a friend of mine, and my friend said, "Hey, go on the stage, play a couple of songs." So I did. I took his bass, and that's how I met him a few weeks ago.
That's really cool.
And then I asked him, "Where do you live?" We're neighbors.
It's crazy, even like in such a densely populated, place. It's just a small world.
I went to Morocco last summer. Okay. I went to a bar in Morocco, in Casablanca. There was a band. The singer was from Montreal.
Wow.
She knew the same people I know.
No way.
And I ended up on the stage playing Zombie from Cranberries with the bass.
That's so cool.
So I did a small show one time in my life in Casablanca.
Man, I think that's something like most artists don't take into account. I mean, just part of being a musician or like an actor or whatever, just like networking, like constantly networking with people and finding something, like you said, being an opportunist, finding something like, you know what, you have this, I can give you, you know, I can play in your band for free or whatever for the next couple weeks, and, you know, just give me some time in the studio or something.
Exactly.
You never know. I mean, especially in New York City, there's so many people everybody's like a jack of all trades, basically. Everybody in the city. So, I mean, that's something really important for artists, I think.
It is. You know, sometimes I look on Craigslist and I see someone who just graduated from, like a cinema. And they just want to shoot a music video, but they need a band.
Right.
So I say, well, use my band.
Yeah.
Do my video for free, and you can use me for free.
Right.
So everybody does that here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah. It's a crazy city.
Yeah.
How do you... Let me think.
Yeah.
Because we had a really interesting conversation yesterday.
Yes.
Let's go back to like the women in music.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because I know that you were talking about that's something like you're really passionate about.
Yes, I am. Because not even before the Me Too movement, I always felt like women were so misrepresented in the music and in showbiz in general. Right now, in the music, look at the charts. There's no women who play anything. They're all singing and dancing, half naked. It's like, that's not a good role model.
No, but I think it's also like 50-50 because like, I mean, like the big heads, right? They're looking for someone who fits that mold. But there's also women who are like more than happy to, you know, fit that mold because they're going to get even more places. So what do you, I mean, so many female musicians focus more on like how they look than what they play. You know what I mean? And that's why they just, you know, they stick to like, oh, you know what, I'm a decent singer, whatever, but I can dance too, and that's fine. Versus like being like an actual like, you know, learning how to play guitar, like being a songwriter, like getting more into like the actual artist aspect.
Yeah, and this has a lot to do with the fact that nowadays the kids and people, I don't know, 20s, the millennials, they like that dancing stuff and the DJ stuff, and they're not really into bands anymore. Yeah. If you look at, you know, the charts, you got Cardi B, Beyonce, Drake, Maroon 5. Yeah. There's a band. Yeah. And Imagine Dragons. Yeah. The two bands in all the 15 or 20 charts I saw.
It's mostly solo people.
Yes, it's mostly solo people. And when they play anywhere, you won't see a drum or a guitar. And I'm thinking that in 20 years from now, they're not going to talk about Drake and, you know, Cardi B or whatever. But we still talk about Led Zeppelin. We still talk about Jimi Hendrix. Yeah. Pink Floyd, The Doors, even the kids, they learn that. Yeah. So I find that it's going to come back maybe in 10 years from now. So the bad thing's going to come back.
It's definitely a cycle.
It is.
Of like,
so maybe I'll be good in 10 years.
Yeah, maybe in 10 years you can play for Madonna.
Exactly. Oh, that's great. So yeah, I really think that women should really go out there and play some fucking rock. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think the best way to do it, though, is to get support from other women.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I think that's a huge thing because, like, if you want to get into business, mostly like an old boys club, I mean, you guys have to get together and, like...
Yeah, and stop. I find that women together, even in a work office... They tend to not support each other. They tend to be more jealous.
Like, it's because of the same thing. Like, you know, like you were telling me yesterday, like, the only way to make it in a certain field is if the woman is better than the man. So if they see, they're not going to try to help the next woman. They're going to try to get themselves to be better than the next guy versus, you know, helping their peers.
Right.
And it's not a good system because then, like, nobody gets anything.
Yes. And I talked about this to a woman musician. I can't remember who she was, but she was playing either drum or guitar, and she told me, she goes, you know what, I don't like to play with other girls because for this reason and that reason. And I thought, well, that sucks because that's what we need right now. We need to come together and really, because if we wait for, first of all, the music industry has to, be more women on top of that industry.
Right.
Yeah, right now it's controlled by men, and it's they want to use women as singers and just dance, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part. But that's like that, in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not being heard.
But like you said, most of it has to do with the whole old boys club, but also like you said, there's no bands.
Yeah.
So I mean, the only way for a girl to make it is if she's a solo, but then she's only going to focus more on like the singing aspect. Because I mean, that's what gets the money, gets the attention.
Exactly. Yeah, but if I go to a festival or an award show or whatever, it's still the majority. There's still men playing instruments. So I don't know where the women are. I don't know. Maybe also because when they get married, when they have kids, then
I mean, that definitely plays a huge part of it because I was speaking to people about it. It's just like guys are free to do whatever they want to because there's no sort of time limit for us. I mean, we can be like 50, 60 and still shooting whatever's, and we start a family 50, 60. Women don't have that privilege.
Yes.
They have like a small gap from like 18 to like 40 maybe. They have to get their life together in that point. Have to get a family, get their career going. And it's really tough.
Yeah, it is.
It's really tough.
Especially if you want to be a musician, because if you have a kid and you want to go on tour and you can't afford to bring the kid with you,
yeah,
you cannot say to the father, "Okay, I'm leaving for 6 months. You take care of the kid." Like,
that wouldn't be very good.
A woman would do it. The guy's like, a diaper.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's.
So yeah, it's
There's a lot of dynamics. There's a lot of dynamics that go into this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's like politics.
Yeah.
Now thank God we have more women involved, but you have to have a clown there to make something move.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but anyway, maybe that's a good thing.
No comment.
Right, no politics here.
I mean, I honestly, I don't pay attention to politics. Most of the time, I don't understand it. It's just like people yelling at each other anyway. So I stay away from that.
Yeah.
So what do you have coming up?
Coming up, well, I have the recordings with my friend right now. We're recording another French song that I wrote.
Okay.
And so we're doing that. And also I go on Craigslist, and I was supposed to jam with a band tonight. But I'm going to Brooklyn to a Brit party. Brit pop at St. Vitus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
So I'll be there tonight. It's a bar in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And they're having Brit pop music.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
British pop.
Yeah, like Oasis.
And they're not my favorite. You just said my least favorite band.
That's the only Britpop band I know.
Well, in the 80s.
Yeah.
In the 80s there. I'm a big fan of the 80s. In music and in movies. I love Pet Shop Boys, Tears for Fears, Howard Jones, Duran Duran, Eurythmics. I think that the 80s had the best music for me and for my taste. Same thing for movies. I mean, I look at the movies in the past few years. I don't think I've seen a classic or a movie that will be a classic.
Yeah.
Like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Star Wars, E.T.
Well, I mean, I think some of it has to do also like we can't really predict the future. I'm not sure how many people back then would see Ferris Bueller as being a classic. You know what I mean? So I mean, time will tell. Time will tell. Maybe we'll be the only decade without anything significant. But I mean, you never know. You never know.
I know. You saw any good movies lately?
I don't watch movies.
Oh, you don't?
No, I have a really, really short attention span. So when I watch a movie, I'm always just like on my phone or like.
No
these-
way!
Yeah, I can't watch a movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my only thing. I mean, I can appreciate them,
Yeah.
but for me to stay still watching something for like 2 hours, I just get bored. I don't know.
Wow, okay. Well, you're good with interviews.
There you go.
Maybe one day you'll have your own show on TV
Yeah.
and you'll have girl musicians.
There you go.
Like,
Maybe I'll have a movie. I'll direct a movie. I just won't see it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
well,
coming out.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
All right.
It was fun.
Yes, it was. I'll be back.
You will.
Okay.
That's what I like to hear.